One of the coolest new features announced as part of the DaVinci Resolve 20 update is AI SmartSwitch, allowing you to automatically edit your multicam clips based on who is speaking. And it works incredibly well and is perfect for podcasts. So let me show you how it works, because it works not just if you have individual audio tracks for each of your microphones, but also if you just have one stereo mix of all of your microphones down onto one track. So you can use it pretty much no matter what. Let me show you how. First, I'm going to show you how to do it when you have individual audio tracks for each of your microphones. And then later on in the video, I'll show you how to use the new DaVinci AI SmartSwitch if you've got just one stereo track and you mixed all of your microphones together down to one track. So first, with individual microphones. So what I've got here, just to explain, did a shoot a while back with 4 cameras. We've got 3 singles here and we've got a wide. And then we've got the individual audio tracks for each microphone here as well. Now this was recorded, you can see here on the side, 1080p, 25 frames per second. It was actually recorded on an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, and I'm just using the ISO files and the ISO microphone WAV files here. So let's get those in. Now, what you would traditionally think of doing is actually creating a multicam clip right off the bat, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something slightly different here, because this is how I best found it to work. So actually, I'm going to just drag in all of the individual cameras. So we've got cam 1, cam 2 onto track 2, cam 3 onto track 3, and cam 4 are wide onto track 4. Now, if we zoom out here, we can see, first thing you'll notice is actually we've got the same audio track, identical audio track across all 4 cameras. And that's because I was using an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. So it's summed all the audio into a stereo track and applied it across all of the cameras. So we need to replace those audio tracks with the individual ones. So I'm just going to hold down Alt on my keyboard for a Mac, select those audio tracks, and then click delete. So we get rid of those, and then just drag in the audio tracks for each camera. So we had cam 1. And the beautiful thing about using an ATEM Mini is everything is timecode synced and the same length, so we can just drag them in, move them to the front, and we know everything is now in sync. Now, this recording was actually split up into 2 sections. They took a break around here. You'll see, had some drinks. So I'm actually just going to trim this down to make our clip a little shorter. So let's just find the start. I think it was around, yeah, let's say around here. So we'll trim off the front here, and then find the rough end about there, and get rid of this as well. So now we've got about a 20-minute podcast clip here. So now that we've got that, what we can actually do is now turn this into a multicam clip. Now, just for reference here, I'm just going to actually type in on the audio track, mic 1, could name them actually, we'll go for Rory, Adam, Miles. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Video 1, 2, 3, and 4 are fine for our video tracks. You could rename them cam 1 to 4 if you wanted to. But now let's create our multicam. So what we can do is we can actually go up to the top here. We can click on where it says timeline, right hand click on that, and now say convert timeline to multicam clip. And I'm just going to use source audio for this. Now it's turned our timeline into a multicam clip, so we can actually drag that onto a new timeline down here. And what we can see is we've got our multicam clip on there. If I turn this into the multicam viewer, we've got our angles here. We have only got one track of audio, and that is now just defaulting to Rory's microphone, so mic 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this 3 times. So we're going to have 4 tracks of audio. I'll explain why 4 in a second. So to do that, I'm just going to select that clip, hold down Alt before selecting. So we just select the microphone. Then hold down Shift while holding Alt and just drag down. And do the same thing till we've got 4 identical tracks, one on top of each other. Now I'm going to ignore audio track number 1. You'll find out why in a second. And we're going to just make sure that these are our individual mics again. So Rory's already done on track 2, that's fine. I'm going to right hand click, go to switch multicam angle and select Adam, who is on microphone 2. And then for the third one down here, do exactly the same, switch multicam angle, and select Miles. Audio 4 was obviously the wide. There's nothing on that track. So what I'm actually going to do now is just, well, I'll save muting it till after, but you'll find out why. But we're ready for DaVinci's AI to now cut this all for us. And because we're using individual audio tracks, it's blisteringly quick. So what we do, make sure you do have the multicam viewer selected here in the source window. Then click on this new button down here, which is the Smart Switch, the AI Smart Switch function. And then you can actually mess around and tweak these settings however you want. I'll go through what I believe they do as I've been playing around. But basically, we've got the minimum edit duration is effectively how long after making an edit DaVinci will wait before it then sets another edit point to switch to another camera. So for this particular shoot, I'm going to set this to the minimum because it's a fast flowing conversation. There's lots of bouncing around. Then we've got the edit change delay. And I take that as when someone starts speaking, so a new person starts speaking, how long should DaVinci wait before it actually switches to the camera? So when there's an audio change, how long should it delay? Again, I like this relatively low, but you don't want it too low because then the camera kind of feels like it's cut to the person before they've started speaking. So I've set it at about 0.4. Now, what we can do here, DaVinci might sometimes have, or will usually have, automatically detect wide angle. I have in the box here selected video 4 because we know track 4 is our wide angle. And you can have different options here, whether it automatically uses the wide for the intro and the outro. You can select how often you see the wide throughout the podcast or throughout the shoot, and also use the wide for silences, which I have on so that if there is some pauses, it will actually show everyone in the shot. Then what we're going to do here is it will usually be like that. But actually, I'm going to tick use audio only fast analysis, which basically means it's going to ignore, it's not going to look at the video at all. It's just going to use those multiple audio tracks to determine who is speaking. And when you do it this way, if you do have individual tracks for each of your microphones, it is blisteringly fast. Watch this. So we hit analyze, and DaVinci is telling us that within 10 seconds now, we are going to have a fully multicam edited podcast. As I say, this is about 20 minutes long. So if you've got an hour long episode, within a minute, it's going to be fully edited for you. So we'll let it finish off. That was all real time, by the way. I'm not going to speed this up. Let it just do the last few seconds. And there we have it. If we zoom in a little bit, we have our podcast fully edited here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to boost the audio levels so that you hear this, because I like, when I record these, I like keeping the mics low. So this is just a bit of housekeeping for the way I record. You won't need to do this yourself, but if we just go into Fairlight, the easiest way to do it, actually, I'm just going to turn on the voice leveler. Actually, we don't want it for track 1 because we're going to mute track 1. I'm just going to do the voice leveler and the dialogue leveler for all of them. Now they'll all be boosted and sound nice. So what you will see here, if I've just zoomed in, the reason that we ignore track 1 is because if I zoom in a bit more, you'll see that what DaVinci has done is it cuts to the person who's speaking, which is what we want, but it's actually changing the audio track to their microphone as well. So we can see here, when it's on the wide, it's going to audio 4, back to Adam when it's on cam 1, to Rory's audio on when it's on cam 1, and then Adam's cam 2. That, for me, when I listen back to it, just feels too choppy and changey. So what I do then is I mute that, and that is why I've got all individual mics below without any cuts in, and I can mix these levels how I like as well afterwards. So that's personal preference. But if we play this back now, it is ready. So you'll hear it. So let's just find a section here. We're on the wide.
But Man City are about.
This is all auto-cutted by DaVinci.
Mm-hmm. Who is going to win the league next? Chelsea or Arsenal? Over to you.
I think it's Arsenal. I think we're well equipped. I think the trajectory we're on, we've got the better manager. Our players, we haven't bought a bunch.
It's peppering in the wide camera there when there's a little bit of a hint of silence. We've got some sections here where there's some long talking. If I just skip through with Rory, even though some people might be kind of nodding heads or saying like, yes, they agree with them. If it's short enough, it's staying on Rory for the focus. But if someone interjects, so let's go to a bit, we had a long sort of section from speaking from Miles here, but then let's just play that.
So I don't think...
What did you make of their standing in the summer? When
Adam asked a question there, it cuts straight to him.
Sporadic. You just mentioned going after players, like Liverpool were after some big players.
One word, Adam, sporadic.
It lets Adam finish its sentence before then cutting to Miles. It's really clever. And again, this is just doing, in this instance, it's just using the multi-track audio. It's not analyzing the video at all, but that's how it did it so fast. So that's how you do it when you have individual audio for your microphones. What about if you've got all of your microphones feeding into the ATEM or a mixer and you record with just a stereo track mix down of all your mics. You can still use this feature, and I'm going to show you how now. So starting back from a fresh, we're going to completely ignore the fact that we do have individual audio tracks here for our mics and pretend that we don't. So if we just look at one of these files here, the great thing about the ATEM is it will record the same audio to all of the camera files. So you can see here, as I play that back,
Yeah, I'd say that.
you can hear all the other mics on there as well. So what we can do with that then is just create a multicam straight off of the bat. So we'll select the 4 camera angles here, holding down, by the way, the Alt key and selecting those camera angles, right-hand click, create new multicam clip using selected clips. We'll just call it multicam in this case. You can name it whatever you like. Frame rate should automatically be set. We want it synced by timecode because the Blackmagic ATEM gives the same timecode to all the angles. What we're going to select here is, for the multicam audio, we're going to have reference audio / angle 1. And for the angle name, I'm going to again use the metadata that's burnt in by the ATEM. I like to untick move source clips and keep them all in the same place. And then we can just hit create. So that's going to create this multicam clip here. We can drag that down onto a new timeline. Now let me just open it up and show you what that looks like. So if we right-hand click and go to open in timeline, again, we can see all of our camera angles have been layered on top of each other. And again, like before, we have all the same audio as well. So if we wanted to, we could actually mute all of these or delete all of these audio tracks and just leave one of them. But I'm just going to leave them there for anyway. Now, what I'm going to do in this example is actually clip out a smaller section, because when you only have a single stereo audio track and mix down of all the microphones, the AI SmartSwitch does take quite a bit longer to process, because it's having to like analyze the audio more and also analyze the video to see lip movement and try and make informed decisions based on that. So I'm going to clip down. Let's find roughly where they start. Something like, if we hit play,
I think a lot of what Miles is...
Yeah, let's go for that. We'll clip that, and then let's go for just a 5-minute section here. Something like that. That'll do. About 5 minutes 40. So now if we open up the multicam viewer here and actually move to part of the section, we can see we've got our camera angles. It's using the audio from camera 1 currently, and now we can get DaVinci to do its thing. So I'm just going to put the playhead back at the beginning, hit the smart switch again, and remember, this is just one track of audio. So all the mics are mixed together, so it can't use individual microphones to work out who is speaking. It's going to analyze the single audio track, and it's also, let's set this going. So going to keep all the settings the same. I'm going to tell it that the wide angle is camera 5. I've changed it to low here just so that it gives a different aspect. And importantly here as well, we can't use audio only because we don't have individual mic tracks. So we have to use video as well, but I'm going to tell it to only switch the video track. I don't want it to do like it did before to cut all the audio track as well. I want the audio track to be untouched. So, and then we've got the option here to choose either faster or better. So I'm going to just choose faster for this demo. So while that's happening, I'll kind of explain what it's doing. So it's looking at that one track of audio, the mix down of all of your microphones, and it's analyzing that, trying to work out from the audio who is speaking, but it's also looking at the video frames as well and looking for things like lip movement or reactions and things like that to then determine whether it should cut to that camera as well. So there's a lot going on there, hence why it takes a lot longer as well. You could see that we were able to cut, I think it was a 15-minute clip or so in like 10 seconds when we were just analyzing audio. But a 5 to 6 minute clip here, it says it's going to take about 3 minutes. So I'm going to let it do its thing, and then we'll see the results. And there we have it. So it's just finished cutting up our 5-minute section. Took about 3 minutes or so. And you'll notice, because we said only cut the video, our audio track is left intact, which is exactly how we wanted. So the key question is here, how did it do? Let's just go to a bit where there seems to be quite a lot of cuts here and play that back.
That can provide that. So I don't think...
What did you make of their spending in the summer? When we
sporadic.
You just mentioned going after players, like Liverpool were after some big players.
One word, Adam, sporadic.
Not bad. You got to consider that DaVinci is, again, I make the point multiple times, but it's only got one audio track of all the mics to work with. It's not like it can use the individual microphone tracks to work out who is speaking. So that's cool. Let's see if it correctly changed to the next person speaking here.
They've got money, but they've done it wrong.
Yeah, the ownership is a good point.
Yeah.
The fact that it's not
It's done a really good job, actually. Let's just go
the
watch one more.
motivation. However, Arsenal, although they're looking good, if they don't win the
You see they stayed with the wide for the silences.
league in this era, which
By this era, you mean the Arteta?
the
kind of
Arteta,
era.
I think they've
the
probably,
reign.
I think
Arteta
they've
reign.
probably
I think it's done a pretty good job there, just showing that you are able to actually now use this technology. And I think DaVinci is the only people that are doing it, but you are able to use this technology if you just have a stereo mix of all of your audio. You don't have to worry about doing multi-track recording for your microphones. Now, obviously, if you do have multi-track recording for all of your microphones, you're probably going to get a better result. And if you saw here in the demo, it's going to be a lot faster. But it's cool that they're giving you the option for both. So there you have it, how to use DaVinci's SmartSwitch functionality to automatically edit your multicam recordings, either with a single track of audio, or if you do have multi-track audio, it works for both of those. And this is going to be massively useful, especially in something like this, the podcast industry. I think not only will you be able to use individual cameras and microphones without ATEMs, but me personally, I could see this now where there's some situations where you can just have an ATEM and not have to worry about live vision mixing, and then have DaVinci Resolve just auto cut it for you afterwards. I definitely think there's going to be some use cases for that. But what gets me excited about this technology is because Blackmagic are doing it, my guess is they're going to keep improving the AI. They're going to use a lot of the data that like the feedback and the data from this technology. And my hope, less of a guess, but my hope is that this technology then trickles back into the ATEM line so that we get some functionality for live vision mixing based on AI. I think that's where the future is, and I would love to see it. Obviously, I don't want to replace directors. There's always going to be a position for directors to actually vision mix live, but it would be great to have that AI assistance in times where like podcasts are a perfect example, where you can just hand over the live mix to an AI. Something like this isn't going to replace sport or news or anything like that, but simple podcasts, it could. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you did, please just take a second, hit the like button because it really does help the channel. Also, if you want to see more tutorials like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and then you'll be notified when new videos drop. Let me know in the comments whether you've tested out this feature and what you think of it. And finally, if you need help with your setups and workflows, you can email me on the email address on screen now, or click the link down in the description and book in a one-to-one consulting session, and we can go over all of your workflows and setup and make sure it is working smoothly. And once you've done all that, guys, I will see you on the next video.